There it is. Welcome to the Wheel of Fortune. My MPG is so much better now. 16, I was getting 16.5, 17 earlier. Definitely do a tune-up on your car or truck or whatever it is, especially with these gas prices. Every little bit helps. Driving my 2012 F-150 today. Ever since I bought this truck, you know, like 6 months ago, I repaired it, but I never did any maintenance on it at all. It was leaking some coolant. I fixed the leaks, but I never changed the thermostat or anything like that, or oil changes, and I almost put like 8,000 to 10,000 miles on it. That being said, I got a bunch of fluids, and got RTV, I've got filters, spark plugs. This thing's going on the lift for the rest of the day, and it's getting some maintenance done. So let's get to work. Here's some supplies that I got. I'm going with the Motorcraft 5W20. That's what it recommends. And I'm gonna do a motor flush. I'm at 149,000 miles or something. So I'm gonna go ahead and flush it, pour this in, idle for 5 minutes, drain the oil, go from there. Hey Siri, wake me up in 5 minutes.
Your alarm is set for 8:52 a.m.
All right, the truck's been on the lift for like 5 minutes, and it's already dripped 3 times, but the more I look at it, the more I feel like it's the oil pan that's actually leaking. So I'm gonna remove this cover and see, but it looks like it's coming from above, like the bolts on the oil pan are wet. So hopefully it's not the main seal. I do have it, but I don't feel like taking all that apart today. So I'm gonna lower the front diff and the steering rack, and then see if I can get this oil pan out and reseal it, because as you can see, there's drips on the oil pan bolts. So there's that. Trying to see if there's any header bolts broken. Did you get your BMW fixed?
Use the tongue. Drop the attitude.
Listen, did you get your Beamer fixed? Drag strip tomorrow.
No, it's the high pressure fuel pump.
For sure?
Yeah, I'm just gonna sell that bitch. I'm done with it. It was like fine for a couple days. Like it seemed like the new fuel module was like, yeah, let's do this, and then same shit.
Really?
Like, same shit pretty much.
I say you take it on the drag strip and send it, and something will break.
I was on the interstate.
Then you'll have to fix it.
And I was like cruising at 70, 60, and I tried to drop it to third gear to get like 7,000 RPMs. I knew something probably was gonna go bad. Dropped it, and sure enough, went right back up gear, and it threw a code. I forget which one it was, but yeah.
Listen,
too much into
no matter what issues I have with my Ford that has 150,000 miles on it, it's still more reliable than your BMW.
How much did it cost to fill this up? Did they even let you fill it up in this economy?
Yeah. Okay. Are those your oil drips from your BMW?
That's that E30 that keeps sitting in here.
No, it's actually from my truck.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to fix today. It's got a leak, and I haven't changed oil in like 10,000 miles, and you know, car stuff.
Again,
Huh?
favorite camera guy.
Yeah, look. Welcome to the Wheel of Fortune. Oh, it doesn't do it anymore.
What was it?
Oh man. It was like, hold on. My 4x4 doesn't work. Oh, now it doesn't do it. Because it was like
That's what I was expecting. Oh, there it is.
There it is. Welcome to the Wheel of Fortune. Yo, we're gonna put your name and my name. We're gonna put your name mostly. And we're gonna put an arrow here. We're gonna spin it. And then you're buying lunch.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Who pays for lunch? I already know what you're gonna say.
You think this is why my 4x4 doesn't work then?
Probably. Maybe it's because it's a Ford.
No, that's not why. Give me that shit. Alright, so new filter, and I put the drain plug back in, and I took the little cover off from the flex plate, and it looks to be dry in there, so I'm pretty sure if I think if the main seal was leaking, it would be all wet in there. And it looks to be dry, so I'm gonna go ahead and say that it's not the main seal, that it's just the oil pan, and cross my fingers, and hopefully I can get this oil pan out. But it looks like I gotta remove this bar and lower the front diff to get the oil pan out, I think, but who knows. Well, I'll start by removing this and go from there. Okay, so I was able to get the oil pan down by lowering the steering rack and the front diff. I loosened all, well, I took all the bolts out, and also the sway bar was in the way. So once I did that, there was barely enough room to get the oil pan slid out. I guess the other option would have been to loosen the motor mounts, which are harder to get to, and lift up the engine slightly. But I realized that these oil pans actually have a gasket instead of just RTV. So I ran to the local O'Reilly's and picked one up. So now I'm gonna clean up the oil pan and then reinstall this new gasket and slap everything back together. I think next time I do this, I'm gonna lift the engine up instead.
Yeah.
I feel like it's gonna be a little bit less work.
Now you're getting on him on his transmission. Spit rock.
Okay, here we go. Yes, sir. I knew it would fit.
Oh yeah, you know that.
This is definitely weird. If this was a two-wheel drive truck, it would be
Oh yeah.
a little bit easier. Let me start a couple bolts. You know what's weird is some of these come with plastic pans.
Yep.
Some of them metal. I don't understand why. Do you?
It's just whatever I think, whatever they can get their damn hands on.
Really? Like my wife's Expedition is just a plastic
Yeah.
thing with a plastic drain plug. You
Yeah.
don't need tools or anything to drain the oil.
Oh yeah. And you know you're supposed to change that damn drain plug every time?
Are you serious?
Yes sir.
First I hear about it.
That was me too. We were standing at the dealership. I've got a good friend of mine that's a mechanic down there.
Yeah.
We stand out back in his bay, and that's where they threw all their oil filters.
Yeah.
all them damn plugs was in there. And I'm like, what the
Not
fuck?
just the O-rings, but the whole plug.
The whole plug. I said, what the fuck? He said, we change them every time. They're made to change them every time.
Wow.
So I reached and grabbed me 3 or 4 of them, took them to the shop.
Yeah. I mean, worst case, you change the O-ring on it, you know?
Yeah.
It's wild.
But everything's throwaway now.
Maybe we should just throw this truck away and get a new one.
That's what they want you to do. That's what they want you to do.
Look at this. Why is there milk in my front diff? What the heck? Wow, dude. That's crazy. And there wasn't much in there. It's not good, dude. Glad I'm doing this now. So, had some milk in my front diff, but the good news is no metal fell out, so I should be okay. Got the cover all cleaned up here. It's ready to install. Let's get this going so I can actually get this actuator, 4x4 actuator, replaced as well. But yeah, all the bearings look okay, so I guess the front diff is good. Let's get this assembled. Nice. Things you gotta do when you don't have a pump here. Let's see what these spark plugs look like. See if they've ever been replaced or not. Spark plug number 1. It's not bad, but it's seen better days. Let's see what kind it is. Motorcraft. Yeah, it looks like they're not original, but they definitely need to be replaced. So, taking a closer look at these spark plugs, these gaps are huge. So these plugs have been through some life, but they're all looking nice and clean, besides the gap being huge. It's like some of them is 0.70, which here's a new one, and it's like 0.52. So that's a huge difference. Yeah, like 0.52, 0.53. So I'm kind of glad I'm doing this. I think my MPG should get better. 0.52. Yeah, so they're all pre-gapped, but one time I had it to where I guess someone at the parts store opened it up and dropped it, and it wasn't gapped properly. Like the gap was barely there, That's why I like to check it. I know some people hate it when people check it with a gauge like this, but this is all I have at the moment. And I'm just over this whole maintenance deal on this truck. But yeah, so from 0.52 to 0.70, that's quite a bit of a gap difference. So let me throw these in and we'll go from there. The other 4 plugs also look awesome besides the gap. I mean, it was just time to replace them. And if somebody tells you that, oh, you don't need to change your spark plugs, it doesn't really matter, it does matter, because they wear out just like everything else. Look at this one. This one's at 0.075. That's a huge gap. So yeah, change your plugs. If someone tells you you don't need to change plugs, block them. All right, I'm done with this maintenance for right now. Just gonna dump some oil. I think it says it's 7.5 or 7.5 to 8 quarts or something like that on the V8. So we're gonna dump this oil and I'm done for today. It's getting late. Hopefully the oil pan gasket fixed the leak. And oh, you gotta be kidding me. Why does this always happen? It's all good. I'm gonna wash the engine bay tomorrow anyways. But as I was saying, hopefully the oil pan gasket fixed the leak and I don't have to remove the transmission. If that's the case, then I'll get some transfer case oil and rear diff oil and go ahead and change those along with the transmission. I think I'm gonna change the transmission filter and fluid, because I'm gonna keep this truck for a long time. I think I really like this body style and it's a perfect work truck because I don't really care about it. The F250 is gonna be more of a, you know, fun truck, but this one's gonna be like a workhorse. By the way, on the F250, I'm still gathering parts. So once I have most of the parts, I'll jump on it, and a day or two, it's gonna be assembled and ready to roll. Just double checked all the fluids and coolant looks good. Oil, I actually ended up putting like 8.5 quarts, even though it says 7.7. But I guess because I had the oil pan off, it was completely dried. So it took like 8.5 quarts to get it to the maximum level on the dipstick. And all I have to do now is reset it. And on these trucks, it's super easy. Ford built tough, there you go. Alright, so we go to settings, vehicle, oil life reset, 100%. Boom, oil life set to 100, perfect. Alright, so that's gonna be it for this video, because I'm over doing maintenance on this truck for now. It's been a long day, but doesn't look like anything is dripping at the moment. Hopefully that oil pan gasket did fix it. I know it definitely runs better with the new spark plugs. You can tell it idles smooth, like it doesn't have that shake it did before. Obviously the plugs needed to be replaced. And like I said, if someone tells you you don't need to change your plugs, block them right away, because you don't need that negativity. And stay tuned for more videos like this one, and next I'll be on the F250, picking up some parts tomorrow actually. So a few more pieces and it's going on this lift. The cab is coming off, and it's gonna be a quick one, so stay tuned, like and subscribe later.